Dan Gogler here, just giving a quick video tour of my e-portfolio. Just kind of starting here on my homepage. I changed the color background a little bit to go along with my school district's colors. We're the Norton Panthers, and red, black, and white are kind of our colors, so I just went with that just because I just kind of liked it a little bit better. I streamlined a lot of my homepage, took out a lot of the extra instructions. I took out some of the extra pages that I didn't feel were as relevant to you guys now that it's actually published, and left in obviously all the important content and everything that ultimately we needed in there. So starting with the candidate info, which gives basically a background of me, who I am, my family a little bit. You can see the pictures. I've got my intro, basically my intro video in here that you can watch, linked to YouTube. And then I put my professional goals and personal goals down there at the bottom. From my candidate info, you can actually go in and see my technology philosophy. I do feel like I've always utilized technology in my classroom, and I try to continue that. And in here, I'm able to talk about basically that philosophy that I use in my classroom every single year. The last thing I have in my candidate info is my resume, which is, I think, nicely streamlined and put together here. And you can see how, it displays almost the whole entire thing, but you can also scroll through it to get more closer to the bottom and get my activities and my references down there. My next section is my activity evidence, which is obviously the biggest piece of the portfolio. This is just kind of the home page for it. So here's my professional development plan, which really honestly centers around moving our district to a more digital and paperless type of curriculum, especially within our social studies department, since I am the chairperson of that. So once again, this basically is all on one page, and you can, scroll through basically all 11 pages. My face-to-face training videos came next to my activity evidence. Two of these I actually worked with my colleague, Kevin Leimeister, who's also in the program, and we did the actual training together, and those are the first two. We did these with other staff members, some young, some veterans, basically going over some of the tools we use and Google. My training video with the students is actually right before DC and covers the Vietnam Wall memorial tribute for a soldier, and I thought it was just a really neat activity we do and a lot of fun. Since I'm taping this on Veterans Day, I also thought it extremely relevant. My professional portfolio presentations are next in here. I've got one LGBT community presentation that I do during our socio-emotional piece with the students. I've got the Norton City Schools internet safety that I'd go over with obviously staff. And then this Andrew Jackson intro video I use when we get into our Andrew Jackson unit to really introduce a Twitter page assignment that I assign to them that I really enjoy because the kids just eat it up and love it. My article summaries come next in this activity evidence. Two of them deal with class size, and it goes with the presentation I do with the staff about misconceptions of what guides basically success in the classroom. And then my third one goes along with Google services and tools, which I push pretty heavily in my PDP, my own philosophy, and a lot of my resources. I really like my extra resources on here. In my activity evidence, the last piece, because I think it really shows how I try to utilize a lot of different tools, a lot of different websites out there. I really try to mix it up, the activities that I do within my classroom. However, I will say my extra resources, I think, heavily show my bias towards Google. I really like Google educational tools. And when you scroll through these, you're going to see so many of them use or relate to these Google tools. So, like I said, you can see a little bit of my bias along the way there. I do use some other ones, obviously, also, but the majority are probably Google. My report section, I left the faculty review form in there for Dr. Jones. I wasn't sure if this was supposed to still be in there, but I didn't want to take it out just in case that was part of the grade. And then in my peer review form, I've got My internal peer reviewer from Matt McConnell, who is actually, I've been in a lot of classes with him along the way. He works at a district nearby, and me and Kevin actually know him, and we worked alongside him. I could have had Kevin review it too, because we worked so side by side during this, but to be quite honest, me and Kevin have worked so much on it, I figured Matt would be a better source for the internal peer review there. We've all kind of helped each other, but me and Kevin have really worked side by side a lot. My external peer review was from my wife, Sarah, and she looked through it and kind of gave me feedback also along the way. It wasn't just at the end, but this was her reflection piece when I got near the final, publishing point. She looked it over again and then filled out that, even though she had been helping me just like Matt and Kevin all along the way. My final piece in here is the reflection piece, which I wrapped up and put the full thing in there. And then down right below, you're going to see where my PEP video tour will go at the end of this. So look forward to comps, hopefully answering all you guys' questions, and good luck to the rest of you. Thanks.